This is my first video review of the Kot06uk Eva Unit 1 TV version. Now, I apologize if this video is extremely unrefined, unprofessional, and not very good, frankly, because I'm not exactly... I haven't planned anything. I'm extremely tired, and I'm doing this because a friend asked me to, and frankly, I just don't have enough time. Since I don't have enough time to make a text review, I decided making a video review would be fast and quicker and easy. So, I will make a text review, just not right now. So, let's get to it. Overall, the kit looks fantastic. Not a single sticker is used on this kit, and the color separation is absolutely amazing, and I give high praise to Kot06uk for painting minor details like the chin and the eyes. Those are the only painted parts on this kit. There are a few missing details, like the red in the mouth, the red streaks on the helmet that you have to panel line with red instead, and the orange on the kneecaps. And I'm probably missing a few more, but overall, I think presentation out of box and the fact that it uses 0 stickers is absolutely fantastic. I have 0 real complaints about this, and overall, I think this is a very good looking kit out of box. Proportion-wise, it's not accurate. It's not as accurate as I'd like. It's stylized mainly to be more faithful to End of Evangelion's Unit 2's proportions, which does not reflect Unit 1's proportions at all. Whoopsie. But honestly, I don't mind it that much. Although I do prefer Bandai's limited model high grade proportions when it comes to Evangelions, because they tend to capture the whole stretched out proportions a little better. In terms of articulation, the head is on a ball joint, so it can move around, look up and down a bit. Of course, there's a hinge on the mouth, double hinge actually, so it goes out quite a bit too much actually. But you can swing it around, move it around, and such. The neck is also on another ball joint. So you can see here, the neck is on another ball joint, which adds for even more movement. And there's actually a working mechanism here. If you make the head look up high, the neck will move up alongside with it. So that looks really good. If you want to have your Unit 1 looking up. The shoulders move out a little bit. And the arms also swivel at the bicep, which is surprising because it does this despite the shoulder pylons blocking anything. So you can have really great movement in the arms, much better than the limited model high grade. And the back actually also separates when you move the joint forward, so that's also pretty fantastic. The arm is on a Revoltech type joint, goes up that far, quite decent if I do say so myself. And definitely more articulate than the limited model high grade. It even swivels if you want to, but there's not really a lot of point for it. The arms are on a Revoltech joint as well, meaning the hands, meaning they have very good movement, and they do get quite loose. It's also worthy to note that Kot06uk tells you to cement this part of the arm, but honestly, you don't need to do it. I haven't done it, and they're sturdy. Of course, if you feel uncomfortable with the thing, then you can, but I have no issue. Unlike the limited model high grades, the waist does not go much side to side, if not at all. Only the top really does. Although the crunch is still fantastic. So, no complaints in the crunch, although it's a bit disappointing it doesn't move as well side to side. In terms of leg articulation, the leg swings down like this. So you can have it reach up insanely far. There's a swivel here. Swivel here. Double jointed, perfect double jointed knee, and the knee guard also moves up. The joints are on a peg like that. Let me just... The thigh spreads like this far. The toes, the feet move, hinge around like that. The armor guard can move up as well and is also on a ball joint. And the toe also moves forward like that. So, articulation, I've got no complaints. It's amazing. They could... For accessories, Unit 1 comes with a decent amount. First, you get widespread open hands. A bit unnatural, but they look good for certain poses, I guess. Maybe to replicate Unit 2's pose if you want to. Or this could also be foreshadowing that we might get more TV versions of these Evangelion kits from Kot06uk. And I would definitely respect that, since I think this kit's awesome, personally. You get more grabby open hands, if you want. I personally prefer to use these types of open hands, because they don't look as actually, no, these are pretty gropey, but they're more natural for an open hand. But, yeah, these do look a bit scary from the side. But I think as open hands, these things do the job pretty well. You get an alternate butt piece, which has a hole in it. Can't remember off the top of my head why this exists. But hey, there's an option if you want to replace the butt. You get fists, which look pretty nice, although there is no real top to them. They're just pure purple. Of course, you have the normal, just resting hands on the kit that I decided to use for this review. And you also get the trigger finger hand. Sadly, there's only a right trigger finger hand, so you cannot use weapons in other hands besides the right one. What weapons does he have, you may ask? Well, he has his prog knife. He has his prog knife, or the progressive knife, which is a 1000 degree knife that grants the Ava a lot of subscribers. Insert 1000 degree knife meme here. You simply plug it into the trigger finger hand, weirdly, and it sits perfectly nicely. And you can use this in any pose that you want. Or maybe you prefer to have a deploying pose. Well, this kit's also got you covered. It has an alternate piece for the left shoulder pylon, with the knife in middle of being deployed. This is not the actual knife, but it's a nice option. And the hand can also grip onto this blade, if you so please. There's also the iconic pallet gun, which will need paint, like quite a bit of this kit, but overall it looks good enough. It can be slid into the hand quite easily, and held as such. You also get his power cord and a cable alongside with it. I've heard a few complaints of people that it doesn't lead anywhere, but considering we don't even know where these power cords go or come from, I'm honestly not that iffy about it. It just plugs into the back of the Ava, right here. And now you can have the Ava plugged in like it should be. And you also get the water slide decals if you want to put the decals on his arms and shoulders. The final gimmick to this model kit is that the entry plug actually ejects. So you pull out this part, and an automorph gimmick takes this area off, and you have a white entry plug actually in the Evangelion. This is removable, as you can see. It's quite detailed, actually. Sorry you don't have a great view of this, but it's got quite a bit of detail for what it is. It's a small thing, and I appreciate Kot06uk doing this. However, this is pretty much a staple, so if they didn't do this, I'd be pretty disappointed, honestly. But it's nice to have. Finally, here's a size comparison with Bandai's limited model high-grade Ava Unit 0. So, what are my thoughts on this kit? This is one of my favorite kits that I've ever built, in all honesty. No stickers are used, and the color separation is fantastic. I do have my problems with it, despite this. There are a few loose parts, like the head pops off a bit. This area on the cockpit likes to come off. There are a few minor color apps that are missed in this kit that I wish were replicated, as Kot06uk does pre-paint their parts, like the mouth. And of course, the proportions aren't as accurate as the Bandai's limited model high grades. And of course, they don't scale because different companies, different model kits. They're both non-scale though. But in the end, I think this kit is fantastic. It's solid. This kit can stand a lot of wear. Unlike the floppy limited model high grade, which flops around and has a few balancing issues, this kit is absolutely solid, and it can stand a pose really easily. I've had little issue with posing this kit because it stands very well, and the joints are strong. At least they are now. Some of the seam lines are actually used well to create those panel lines that on the old limited model high grade were just normal panel lines that you had to fill in with marker, while seam lines just had a very, very beautiful job and clean, and you can clearly see the seam line moving straight through the leg. Not on this kit. This kit does very good with the seam lines. There are a few off areas, like here on the arm and obviously at the back of the legs, but overall they did a very good job with the part separation and seam lines. Now, for the price, yes, this guy is quite expensive. The limited model high grades, at least in Hong Kong, are less than half the price for what I got for this guy. And you actually get less because the limited model high grades do come with a lot more accessories depending on which kit you have. But overall, I think this kit is a lot more worth your money because it's higher quality, it's solid, it looks fantastic, and there's just very little I can think about this kit that's really negative, and mainly all of my complaints are all just minor gripes. I have very little issue with this kit, and I think Kot06uk did an absolutely excellent job bringing us this Kot06uk Ava Unit 1 TV version. And do I recommend this? Hell yeah, I do. You may want to paint the orange bits, you may want to paint the lines on the head, and definitely bring a panel lining marker for all those little details, mainly black. Gray is not what I'd recommend. Not on this purple, and not on this green. But I do recommend that you pick this up, because it's a really good kit. It's solid, and I have little problem with it. So, hopefully this video isn't as too crap. I know it's quite bad, but I'm really tired right now, and I'm honestly rushing this whole thing. So, hopefully you probably just hopefully you had a nice job cringing at how horrible my video review was, and how horrible the camera focusing was and stuff. Hopefully I'll get some tips and pointers from my dad on how to improve my camera skills, and hopefully I will revisit video recording someday. But as of now, I think I'm just gonna stick to the text reviews, because those are fun and those are more formal for me. And if it wasn't clear by now, I'm not very good at talking, so hopefully you enjoyed, and see you later.